Dreaming of a Korean Thelma and Louise, the birth of a rare female buddy movie. When we say buddy movie in the film industry, we usually picture two male protagonists bickering while solving a case. From the masterpiece of Korean cinema history, Two Cops, to numerous recent detective films, this genre has been regarded as the exclusive property of men. It is a reality that buddy movies where women are the subjects leading the narrative can be counted on one hand. Globally, director Ridley Scott's Thelma and Louise is revered as the Bible of female buddy movies, showing a perfect narrative arc, along with a charming villain played by Brad Pitt. The movie Project Y is a work that ambitiously throws down the gauntlet in this barren market of Korean female buddy movies, featuring So-hee and Jong-seo, the two hottest actresses in their 20s right now. I visited the theater with both anticipation and concern about whether this movie could open a new horizon for Korean-style female noir. 2. Chilly atmosphere on opening day, anxious gazes on box office success. Unfortunately, the atmosphere on the first day of the movie's release was not very bright. Usually, if it is a highly anticipated film, efforts are made to secure screen counts on the opening day, but the number of screens for Project Y was not as high as expected. This could be evidence that the distributor or theaters made a somewhat conservative judgment on the movie's box office power. I cautiously speculate whether there was a lack of confidence in the movie's quality or mass appeal revealed through the press preview. In fact, it remains a regret that the density of the audience and their response were not explosive when I entered the theater. It was a moment to realize once again the reality that the genre of action noir with two female leads still faces a high mountain to cross in the Korean commercial film market. 3. Connection. Forged by SNS, real-life friend chemistry on screen externally, the most talked-about topic regarding the movie is undoubtedly the casting behind-the-scenes story. It is said that director Lee Hwan proposed the roles to So-hee and Jong-seo simultaneously from the planning stage. The interesting point is the process of the two actors meeting. The anecdote that So-hee sent a DM direct message to Jong-seo first to express her interest, leading to them becoming real-life best friends, is famous. Having received the offer for the same work at the right time, the two naturally agreed and had a meeting with the director, putting the project on the fast track. Watching how the natural breathing and chemistry coming from a real friend relationship melt into the relationship between Jeon and Do-kyung in the movie is the biggest viewing point of this film. 4. Proven beast. Jong-seo, unrivaled energy. Dominating the screen. Jong-seo has already finished verifying herself as an actor with irreplaceable energy in Chungmuro, Korean Hollywood, through her debut film Burning the Call and Ballerina. Although she shows strong, unique acting that can divide opinions, depending on the work, she at least possesses the grip to carry a movie entirely on her own power. In this movie as well, she plays Lee Do-kyung, a driver who picks up women in the entertainment district, radiating a rough and raw charm without regret. Jong-seo's acting, which simultaneously expresses the anxiety of not knowing where she will bounce and the strength inherent within it, becomes an important driving force that breathes tension into the somewhat weak narrative of the movie. 5. So-hee's first screen lead between potential and regret. On the other hand, for So-hee, this work has special meaning as her debut as a leading role on the big screen. Although she's been recognized for her star quality and acting skills through dramas like The World of the Married and My Name, the power to lead 2 hours within the medium of film is another realm. Playing Seon, a florist and an ace in the entertainment district, she captures the eye with visuals that oscillate between unique decadent beauty and sorrow. However, in terms of acting, I cannot erase the feeling that her potential has not fully exploded yet. Looking at interviews or her usual moves, it is clear that she is an actor with deep thoughts and sensibility, but it leaves a regret as if she stopped just before exploding that into acting. Crossing that fine line where it feels like it would burst with just a little nudge seems to be her task for the future. 6. Realistic terror of jaunts. Fraud, youth's push to the brink. The initial setting of the movie is extremely realistic and timely. Jeon, played by So-hee, and Do-kyung, played by Jong-seo, grew up together and share a bond no different from real sisters. Jeon dreams of a normal life by cleaning up her life in the entertainment district and running a flower shop. But she loses all her life savings she had gathered tenaciously due to jaunts fraud, rental deposit fraud, a chronic illness of Korean society. In a situation where the money collected by devoting one's whole life evaporates in an instant, the helplessness and anger felt by them evoke deep empathy and pity from the audience. Before the flashy action, the movie gains driving force for the story by shedding light on the desperate reality of youths, driven to the edge of a cliff without a social safety net. 7. From bad to worse, illegal gambling and the start of a dangerous plan. The tragedy does not end there. To recover Mi-seon's money or to increase the remaining money, Do-kyung makes a dangerous choice. She touches illegal sports betting Toto. However, the result is disastrous, and even the last remaining funds fly away into thin air. The two women, who have nothing left to lose, learn that behind all this misfortune lies To-sejong President To, played by Kim Sung-cheol, who operates the illegal betting site. Now their goal is one, to retrieve the stolen money and save their lives. From this point on, the movie takes on the form of a full-fledged caper movie, following the process of the two protagonists executing a reckless plan against a massive evil. 8. Feast of supporting actors. Shining brighter than leads, rediscovery of Kim Sung-cheol. An interesting point is that as the movie progresses, the acting of the supporting actors sticks in the mind more intensely than the leads. Kim Sung-cheol, who had mainly shown images of a pure or tender young man, transforms into the vicious To-sejong in this work, presenting chilling villain acting. Also, Kim Shin-rock dominates the screen every time she appears, digesting a character who is half crazy on drugs as if possessed. Added to this are Young-ju, who presents heavy action with an expressionless face, and Lee Jae-kyun, who shows the standard of mean thug acting. The solid and unique acting of the supporting actors tightly holds the flow of the movie, which could easily become loose, adding to the fun of watching. Sometimes their presence is so strong that they overwhelm the protagonists, giving the feeling of the cart put before the horse. 9. Revenge with missing catharsis, limitations of direction. That trap the actors. After the middle part, the movie depicts the process of the two protagonists taking revenge on To-sejong's gang and trying to retrieve the money. However, in this process, the thrilling catharsis or desperate action that the audience expected seems somewhat lacking. If it hung the title of female buddy movie, it should have given a sense of liberation of speeding to the end of the world, like Thelma and Louise, or shown aesthetic and cruel revenge like Sympathy for Lady Vengeance. However, Project Y feels trapped within the cliches of typical crime movies without fully utilizing the raw energy and charm of the two actors. The limitation of direction that failed to lay out a board where they could play more boldly and crazily with the good ingredients of So-hee and Jong-seo remains a deep regret. 10. Unsolved mystery of Y, a challenge. Ending in anticlimax. The first question that came to mind as I left the theater after the movie ended was, why on earth is the title Project Y? Throughout the movie, what Y in the title symbolizes is not clearly revealed. The audience has no way of knowing whether it means youth, the solidarity of the two protagonists Yellow, yours, or if it is merely a MacGuffin. Just like the ambiguity of the title, the ending of the movie also finishes vaguely without leaving a clear message or lingering feeling. The ambitious attempt at a female two-top noir, rare in the Korean film industry, is commendable, but it is bitter that it remains an unfinished project, relying only on the buzz of the two actors due to the weak narrative and absence of direction. I don't know if we can see the combination of So-hee and Jong-seo again, but next time I look forward to meeting them in a work with a sturdier vessel that can fully contain their energy.